cry?
No.
Are you crying? Are you crying? There's no crying. There's no crying in baseball.
Why don't you leave her alone, Jimmy?
Oh, you zip it, Doris.
What's going on, everybody? Listening to the Baseball Goombas. Today is January 24th, 2019. This is our 24th podcast episode. A little league of their own, leading us in there with Penny Marshall, who passed away sadly about a month ago. John Goomba here with Chris Goomba, a little Hall of Fame episode.
Chris Goomba, what's going on? Here we are again. By the way, before we even get into it, I had no idea. John just told me about 5 seconds ago. Penny Marshall was in Hocus Pocus.
Incredible performance.
No idea. I had no idea. I'm blown away right now. My mind is blown. I guess I should have known this, but again, I had no idea, and it's Fun Fact Thursday. That is my fun fact. But today we are.
It's the greatest piece of work ever. Was
you could be a tight end. Today we are rolling with
the Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame episode tonight. That just happened 2 days ago, and it's been a hot debate about all the steroid guys, and we'll get into that. But first things first, we want to give a big shout out and congrats to the 4 ball players who were just enshrined into the Hall of Fame. And Mo Rivera, Edgar Martinez. We have
Roy Halladay. Blanking already. It might be Cena.
Barry Bonds. Kurt Schilling. Anyway, it's been historic with Mo. He was the first ever to get all 100% of the votes, all 425.
I'm a little salty about it. I want it to be Griffey.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's never ever happened before, and you look at all the prior talent that has played, namely
and especially for a position where everybody's kind of iffy on closer to begin
right, to
with.
be a closer who 15, 20, 25 pitches max, 1-2 innings to achieve that. It's pretty remarkable.
It's odd.
It is odd. Again, you got your Ruth, Garrett. I mean, you got all these guys. Mantle,
Cobb. It's a Hall of Fame. Griffey, Seaver,
really?
Nolan Ryan.
It's amazing.
The list goes on.
So, Mo, we're not going to get into that. Everybody knows his storied Yankee career. He's the greatest to ever do it.
652 saves.
It's he's been awesome his entire career, and it's even his postseason is even more legendary than I can even imagine. I mean, it's been insane, literally insane. Real quick, ERA is below 1. 0.70. 11 earned runs in the postseason. 11. In 96 games.
That's ridiculous.
141 innings, 42 saves, over 110. Oh, he's got 110.
He's got 42 playoff saves.
Yeah, so it's literally a whole another season.
Yeah, you
could lead that to the Yankees.
You could lead the league with 42 saves.
But he played on some good squads, so that's the reason why. But the interesting thing about it again is he got all the votes, and it kind of got us thinking, and kind of got the world thinking that in the upcoming years, will there be more? Did this set the tone now for new players coming up? Now you have literally next year. Could we literally go back to back?
With the unanimous?
Yeah.
With the unanimous? We could.
Derek Jeter.
You could.
It's
6th all-time in hits.
It's interesting. I can't
literally look at nothing else. Just look at 6th all-time in hits and just vote.
Yeah.
I grew up hating Jeter because I'm a Mets fan, but you gotta give it to him.
I think
that's
so.
incredible.
I mean,
stop hitting.
There are going to be there's going to be plenty of people that are going to say no, and I get it. I do. I understand it. Maybe it's just me.
No MVPs argument,
being
all that
biased,
kind of stuff. Yeah.
But it's going to be interesting to see if he does get it. And then you look furthermore, a couple of guys we jotted down here that possibly can do it. Pujols
down the road, yeah.
Pujols, I could see it. I could see that. Ichiro,
definitely first ballot.
Yes,
I could see it more than you could see it, but I remember Ichiro was insane.
I mean, he's great.
270 hits a season. Ridiculous. Yeah. And he came up at 27. He came from Japan over at 27 years old, and then he still got 3,000 hits starting that late in his career. Granted, he's 45 and just signed a minor league contract.
Yeah,
He's not going home, but still.
All right. Again, I could see. We're not saying that these guys are going to do this, but as far as off the top of our heads, Miguel Cabrera.
Yeah.
I don't think any of these guys. Like I said, I don't think any of these guys can actually get that except for Pujols or Ichiro, maybe.
Pujols, Ichiro, Trout.
Trout, he's still going to play for
Kershaw
a long time.
100% will not, because they're going to use his playoffs against him.
Yeah.
It's going to happen to him.
Beltre,
It's going to happen to him.
People love Adrian Beltre, and rightfully so. He's great.
He's first ballot.
But I don't think he should be unanimous.
No, he should be
all.
First ballot.
At all.
Give him 90%, and he's good to go, because he's one of the best ever at third. So.
But again, it's pretty interesting and cool to see that maybe potentially this whole Mo Rivera.
But just look at our last year, what you're looking at with Jeter and whatnot. Some of the other names that you're seeing on the ballot next year for the first time are Bobby Abreu, Jason Giambi.
Yeah,
he's steroids. He's done. There's no way. And Cliff Lee, who I felt like he was too little, too late.
Good.
He got good too late, and he wasn't able to put up the Hall of Fame numbers. I don't think.
Well, we have a couple guys that we're going to get into in a little bit here on down the road. That make you think a little bit. Make you think. But again, we're not going to go too far into Mo. Everybody knows what he's done in his legendary career. But let's real quick talk about Edgar. I mean, I get it with the defense, but that's petty. It's petty.
It is.
He's a DH, man. It is what it is.
You know, I did realize that he actually played
stuff.
40% of his games at third base. So DH all you want, he still actually was in the field for 40% of his career.
I don't know if you saw, but he obliterated his class, his classmates. Mo.
Oh yeah, yeah. Everybody said they did. Pedro. They all said they didn't want to face him. They said he was such a tough out. And when you get the praise like that,
375, I think, was his average against the Hall of Famers. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Insane.
He was just a pure hitter, and he was awesome. I practiced a lot of swings in the backyard. He was one of them. Griffey being number one. Everybody wanted to be Griffey. But he was great, and I have no problem with not playing defense.
If you're gonna make DH part of the game of baseball, then you have to honor the best DH hitters, like you do with every other position.
And that's what I feel about it. Same thing with Poppy Ortiz. Mm-hmm. He's gonna get in the Hall of Fame, and he should be. He should. I mean, he was great. Holiday, listen. It's unfortunate. Again, before we even get to that, it's unfortunate what happened. Yeah. God bless his soul. Rest in peace. Too bad he's not here for this and to soak it all in. But again, I'll be the first one to tell you that I didn't think Roy Halladay was this good.
I know.
I mean, I knew he was great.
Couldn't name him. He could throw complete games.
Looking at these numbers and just I just didn't think he was this awesome, for lack of a better term. Mm-hmm. When you look at some of his numbers, it just hits you. It hits you harder. Like, damn, he was this good. Mm-hmm. 2002, from 2002 to 2011, 63 complete games.
Yeah, that's all he used to do. He was like the only guy in baseball throwing complete games.
And now, when you think of it now, it's just unheard of. Now, people, we're lucky if Blake Snell goes into the fifth inning. The Rays are happy about it.
No, but 8 times in his career he had 200 plus innings pitched for a season. Half his career. Now if you do it once, it's a milestone.
Yeah, it's crazy. 8-time All-Star, 2-time Cy Young. Mm-hmm. Just about 400 starts in 16 years. Over 2K.
Over 2,000 Ks, yeah.
Over 200 wins. 3.38 ERA. I mean, he was good. He was
perfect game.
He was good,
and a postseason no hitter.
Yeah, I mean, deservedly so.
I believe so too.
Really, deservedly so. And you look at the other guy, Mike Mussina, another great pitcher. Mm-hmm. And
we talked about this off before, comparing Pettit and Mussina, and we both said I'm 100% voting for Mussina before I vote for Andy Pettit.
He was great. He was ridiculously consistent. Yeah. Ridiculously consistent in the AL East, pitching in the AL East.
His whole career.
Pitching in an offense-heavy steroid era. Mm-hmm. And Yankee Stadium and Camden Yards, to no less. 11 seasons in the top 10 in ERA, 10 seasons in the top 10 in strikeouts, 5-time All-Star, 270 wins.
Yeah.
270. ERA 3.68. almost 540 starts. He fell just shy of 3,000 strikeouts. He got 2,800.
7-time Gold Glove too. Don't forget. I mean, that's always something.
He was great. He was a great pitcher, and he also produced a great moment in shooing Torrey away. That was awesome. Just get lost. Get out of here. I'm pitching this.
You always want those kind of pitches on the hill.
So he had a great moment with that, and a big screw you to Carl Everett for breaking up his perfect game with one. It was a 1-2 count, I believe. I think he was 1 strike away. Right? It was 1 out, 1 strike away, and Mr. Everett. The hell out of here. Still salty about that, but what are you gonna do? And that with Mussina getting in now, another interesting debate is being circulated. It's will Mussina go in with an Orioles cap or a Yankee cap?
Here comes this bias.
It's hold on. I'm gonna give you something.
Yeah, I can't wait.
With the Orioles, 2 more years with the Orioles, 10 years. With the Yankees, 8 years. So with Baltimore, 147 wins, 3.53 ERA.
Okay.
The Yankees, 123 wins, 3.88 ERA.
He had better numbers in Baltimore.
Better numbers with the Orioles, but real quick.
There we go.
Question for you, John.
Nope.
Just give me the answer without even thinking about it.
What do I think of when I think of Mike
Mussina? What do you think of?
Orioles.
What?
Yes.
Get that.
Because he is so blended in.
My gosh.
Yankees always have greats just cycling through their team. Okay? The Orioles haven't had a pitcher since Mussina. I remember talking about this. We were talking about the Orioles rotation during the
Orioles
season.
haven't had a pitcher since Baldo Jimenez.
They haven't had an ace, a true ace, since Mike Mussina.
Steve Trucks.
When I think of Mike Mussina, I think Orioles, and I also feel like the Orioles appreciate Mussina more. He's part of the Orioles Hall of Fame, and he's never gonna get that kind of.
It's the Orioles' damn fault.
It's the Orioles.
Get a pitcher.
No,
for crying out loud.
But he's never gonna.
Sir Sidney Ponson don't count.
He's just gonna be lost in Yankee history if he goes down as a Yankee. If you go down as an Oriole, you're a little more remembered because that fan base actually has less to be appreciative for.
even bias aside, when I think of Mike Mussina, I think of the Yankees.
Because you watched every game.
I don't know. I just think of the Yankees. I do.
Yeah, but also his years in Baltimore. How old are we?
We kids.
Kids. That's why you go through your teenage years watching them.
It's still a cool debate though.
And it is, but I'm going based on numbers for Mussina and based on just getting lost in the Yankees
shuffle.
History, yeah,
in the Yankees shuffle. Yeah. I mean, we'll see. He did read that he hasn't decided yet. And
I mean,
it is ultimately up to.
So correct me if I'm wrong. What's it called? Monument Park. Bernie's got something. Pettit's got whatever. All those guys are in there. They ain't give him anything. He's in the Hall of Fame. Not gonna give Moose anything. Not gonna put Moose in Monument Park, and he's better than all these guys. So I'll tell you right now, he's lost. He's already lost. And don't go putting him in now. I don't want to see the Yankees go putting him in now.
It might happen. You never know.
It's a crock if they put him in.
I don't know. I just think at the end. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean, again, is it up to him or is it up to the Hall of Fame?
I think
up to the Hall. They asked for his input.
No, I think it's the other way around. I think they give their input and then it's his overall decision. I'm pretty sure it's that way.
Don't quote us.
Yeah, don't quote. But I'm pretty sure they say, "Hey, this is what we think you should wear," and then they have. It's their career. You can't tell them what to go in as.
Go in neutral. Just get a white cap.
The Hall of Fame cap.
Get a painter cap on.
Did Griffey ever go in with the backwards cap? I don't think so. No, I think it's forwards. They wanted him to have a backwards cap, but
that's great.
Yeah, but it didn't happen.
It's great. Absolutely great. I had my backward cap on all the time in the backyard. Let's shift gears into the current debates and the current times here with the steroid era and all these guys that are falling off the ballot and all these guys that are come on the ballot. Mm-hmm. Real quick, listen, nothing, absolutely nothing against these guys' careers. Nothing against
you have
them.
to have a great career to even be in this discussion.
Yeah,
so.
The fact that we're even talking about you means you play the game of baseball very well. Mm-hmm. But with that being said, Placido Polanco, however you pronounce his name. He got 2 votes.
I always said Placido, but I think it's Placido.
I don't.
Who knows?
Which call him Mr. Polanco?
Mr. Polanco.
The dude got 2 votes. Like, God bless those guys who voted.
I don't understand how that happens.
And thought, I mean, those two writers looked at this ballot and said, "Hey, Polanco, God damn it, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Mm-hmm. Get out of here.
Put him next to Ruth."
No, I don't.
Come on.
I don't get. I don't get it. I don't. And again, he had a good career.
He's just good.
He's a good ball player.
If he's just starting second baseman, batting 7th, you're like, alright, we got Polanco, but we got to build around that. He's not your 3-hitter smacking in 120 runs.
Barely over 100 home runs. Barely over 1,000 runs. 720 RBIs. You got over 2,000 hits.
But he played a long time. But I'll give it to him. Because 2,000 hits is a milestone. Yeah, I really think it is.
But that's I mean, if you're talking about Polanco, where's Martin Prado?
Martin Prado's great. He's gonna stay healthy.
I don't know. With all, like, looking at yes, they all fell. Garland, Todd, they all fell off the ballot. Yeah. Derek Lowe, because they're not nobody. No, Ted, that's absurd.
Ted Lilly.
I'm a better pitcher than Ted Lilly.
75 miles an hour.
But like, you look at some of these names, and again, yes, they fell off the ballot, rightfully so. But overall, as a whole, I just feel like it's the Hall of Fame has now become the Hall of Very Good.
Yep.
A lot of these guys are not great. Like, you don't look at you don't say these names.
We're questioning a lot of these guys that are getting in lately.
You don't again, I'm just going to use Ted Lilly as an example. When someone looks at Ted Lilly, reads the name Ted Lilly, does that exuberate greatness?
I forgot about that guy. That's what happens with me when I see Ted Lilly. I'm like, oh my Ted, was he a Yankee? I remember when the Yankees had him. That's what I think of.
I saw Derek Lowe. I said, for Derek Lowe, but
he was good. He had a good career.
You forget about.
Was he a 3-starter for the Red Sox? Like, he wasn't.
These guys are not Hall of Famers. They're just very good ball players. And again, it's just there's a lot of discussion about Harold Baines. He was great. I don't hate that.
I do not understand the outrage against Harold Baines.
He's all about Harold Baines.
For me,
go ahead.
I felt like there's a lot of things that before the steroid era were automatics for the Hall of Fame. 3,000 hits,
yes.
500 home runs,
yes.
300 wins.
Yes.
And I feel like things along those lines were automatics getting to the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
Harold Baines.
Times are changing, but
Harold Baines played before the steroid era. Technically, he ended like in '91, I believe, with the White Sox. But he was so done at that point. But in his career, to have almost 2,900 hits, to just below the automatic ticket, to hit 289 with a 356 on base, 384 home runs, 6-time All-Star, 1-time Silver Slugger. I don't understand the outrage of Harold Baines getting in. I think that he has some very respectable numbers to even be considered, and I actually have no problem with Baines being in the Hall of Fame. When you look at the 2,866 hits, just a few names, then that is more than, is Brooks Robinson, Pudge, Griffey, Andre Dawson, Tony Perez, Chipper, Beltran, Alomar, Lou Gehrig, Ted Williams.
Those are some names.
Those are some ball players. Don't be outraged when Harold Baines almost gets 3,000 hits and gets into the Hall of Fame. I have no problem with that. I have problems with other guys, but I got no problems with Harold Baines.
I got no problem with Baines in the Hall of Fame either. But it's amazing to see the outrage and the hoopla surrounding Harold Baines. Mm-hmm. And again, I get he was a great ball player. If you want to compare Omar Vizquel.
Yes, I was doing that before.
So you think of Omar Vizquel. Now listen.
He's getting disrespected. He should be in the Hall of Fame already. 42.8% of the vote. Let's move this along and get him.
Omar Vizquel played a long time.
24-year career.
That's a long time.
But it's because he was good. You don't play 24 years when you stink.
He was
seriously.
He was good. But just check it out. 80 home runs. Okay, he wasn't a home run hitter.
Nah, you can't.
But 272 average.
Yep.
a little iffy. Not even
Ripken hit 276.
Okay.
Yeah. So we could do this all day. We could do this
that's
all
what I'm
day.
Vizquel, not even 1,000 RBIs, 950.
I don't look at RBIs for him.
And the main thing about Omar Vizquel was the longevity and the hits.
Yep.
2,877.
Correct.
Okay. So, if Baines gets in, does that kind of automatically mean Vizquel's got to get in?
Well, the only thing I would say is because
home runs aside,
I was going to say home runs and RBIs. Baines clearly has more, but you have to then take his defense into account. You know, he's a 3-time All-Star, 11-time Gold Glove. From 1993 to 2001, 9 years in a row, he was the best short. He won a Gold Glove for 9 straight years. Guy won 9 straight seasons. He was the best shortstop for a decade.
I love Omar Vizquel, I really do. And I think he should...
And to compare him to another shortstop, Ozzie Smith, who had, don't call me, 13 Gold Gloves? It was like 13 Gold Gloves. So he's got 2 less Gold Gloves. Big deal. But Ozzie Smith has 400 less hits, and he's actually hitting 12 points low. I think he's 260 for his career. So if you're gonna, I would say, okay, let's take Vizquel and compare him to Ozzie Smith. He's got better hitting numbers and just 2 less Gold Gloves. He deserves to be into the Hall of Fame. I think he's gonna chip away each year and finally get in. But let's go. He deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
I'm still on the whole Vizquel managing gig. I still think he should be a coach.
Should we?
But
he's been bouncing around the Tigers. What was he doing on the Tigers? He was like a third base coach or something. I saw him out there.
Yeah.
It's bouncing around.
Still playing third base. No, but Vizquel's great. But again, all these guys just lead into the names that now that are coming up on in next year in 2021, just upcoming years. There are a lot of tough calls, and the number one right now that is going around the talk of the town is Bobby Abreu.
Yeah,
and honestly, I don't know. I don't know.
No, I do
know.
know because we said this before. Bobby Abreu had almost just under 2,500 hits. He had 291, and another stat I liked was about the 400 stolen bases. But Bobby Abreu was 5-tool, but what I see is he is very good and he had a very good career. But I don't see Bobby Abreu
being a
as
Hall of
elite.
Famer.
He's not elite.
No.
The Hall of Fame is supposed to be elite.
Right.
And we got to stop letting the very good in. He's
right.
very
Again,
good.
that plays back into what I said. It's the Hall of Fame now is becoming the Hall of Very Good.
It is.
A bunch of these ball players
frustrating.
That are sparking debate.
We're letting 6 guys in a year. This is not no.
I'm gonna rattle off a couple of names here.
Please do.
Again, so it starts with Bobby Abreu.
Yeah.
Lance Berkman, he was on the ballot.
Hey.
Absolutely not. He shouldn't even be
not.
on the ballot. No, I don't care. It's just no.
Nope. Next.
Not even 2,000 hits.
No, get out of here. I'm already done, bro.
Injury. Why is he even in discussion? I just don't get it.
He's gonna get his. If he gets more than 5%, I'm gonna be annoyed that he's gonna be there for another year.
You have the Coors effect. Todd Helton and Larry Walker.
It's so unfair to them.
It is. It's very unfair. Larry Walker had a heck of a career. Todd Helton also had a heck of a career. Walker hit 313.
Correct.
383 home runs. Just shy of 2,200 hits.
400 on base. But here, so in his defense, 5-time All-Star, 7-time Gold Glove is impressive playing in that outfield. That's a lot of ground to cover. So I give Larry Walker a lot of credit for being able to do that in Coors Field. The thing I realized that makes me realize the Coors effect, he had the 313 for his career. In Colorado, he had 334. Montreal was 281. And then he ended his career in St. Louis hitting 286.
Don't have a team, Colorado.
And if you just look at total home and road, 348 at home in his career, 278 on the road.
Yeah.
That's where I'm done. I'm done right there. It's inflated because of Coors. Helton, I got to look at deeper because I know he hit like 370 a couple of years. Like
Helton was a great.
He was ridiculous when he was. I got to look at Helton deeper. I don't want to make a decision on that right now.
Outside of obviously the power, he to me, he's comparable to Joe Mauer. Because Joe Mauer was a hitter.
Yeah.
But he never really...
I think Joe Mauer...
Joe Mauer never really was a power guy.
Joe Mauer's going to get in. He's going to get in. I know it.
Joe Mauer? I think he'll get in.
I think he'll get in. Because of doing that as a catcher.
Yeah.
Hitting 350 as a catcher is... Nobody does that. Who does that?
Assad.
Yeah. Give me a break.
Speaking of the Yankees, you have Beltran.
Yeah, he'll get in.
I think he'll get in too. I really do.
So again, what he did as a switch hitter, what he did as a switch hitter, makes him more desirable. Was 2,700 hits, Brown?
Beltran has 2,725 hits.
John Goomba,
Rookie of the Year, 3-time Gold Glover, 9-time All-Star. He won the 2017 World Series. 435 home runs.
Yep.
It's a lot. I didn't think he had that many.
From doing that from both sides of the plate, very Chipper Jones-esque.
Mm-hmm. Over 1,500 RBIs.
When you're a switch hitter, I feel like 400 is your threshold for really taking serious consideration. I'm slowing myself down because I don't know where Berkman's at, and I don't want him to have 400 runs. I just realized that what I was saying, and I really hope Berkman doesn't have 400.
Berkman is not a Hall of Famer.
He doesn't have 400
whatsoever.
He don't have.
Also,
killer bees.
I was looking at the kind of the upcoming pitching. Obviously, you have Kershaw. You're gonna have Kershaw.
Kershaw, yeah.
But interesting. I'm gonna go with no. I really, honestly, just no. Is CC Sabathia.
Yeah, I don't buy it.
He's just
good. He's
good.
Very good.
He's very good. And
done.
I think there's going to be a whole heck of a lot of commotion if and when he don't make it. I think people are going to go bananas about CC. Yeah, I do. I think people are going to go bananas. And I could see it. He was a very good baseballer. He's not a Hall of Famer.
Hall very good. He can just go sit next to Bobby Abreu on general admission.
Just a couple more. I heard about Adam Dunn. Okay, Adam Dunn. His career batting average was .237. End of discussion.
He never cracked 500 home runs either. He was
400
something.
No, he can have 1,000 home runs.
That's fair.
He can have 1,000.
Well,
he
can't have 1,000. He can't have 1,000.
237 career hitter is not a Hall of Famer.
He was rough to watch.
Just Mr.
He wasn't
Big Donkey.
Great or elite in any way. He just ran into a couple pitches.
Big Donkey. I love it. Great nickname.
Looking like Will Ferrell out and left.
Two more, and then we'll get into the kind of the whole steroid stigma.
Mm-hmm.
John's all about Jeff Bagwell. I think he's a bona fide Hall of Famer.
I don't.
Why?
I just feel like very, very good. And when I look at it, what was it, 449 home runs?
Yeah.
Is that what I'm gonna get it again? I'm on fire with the numbers.
Bagwell career 449 home runs. Okay.
But this is the whole thing.
2,300 hits.
We'll get into this.
297 average. Mm-hmm. He was the MVP, 4-time All-Star, Rookie of the Year. He's got over 1,500 RBIs. What more do you want? Like that's a Hall of That's
a Hall of Fame. It's very good.
Oh my gosh,
it's very good.
It's technically minus the average per se. It's Carlos Beltran and hits, but not that many more hits.
Carlos Beltran was a switch hitter, and he had more Gold Gloves.
What? Switch hitter.
He had more Gold Gloves
because he decided to bat lefty and righty.
I asked Jeff to do that. Let me know how he does.
Ask Edgar to play the field more. Ask David Ortiz to play the field more. It's just, it's very.
I mean, do I think
am
I outraged at Bagwell? Like I could see why he got in, but I don't think I would have voted. Like it's also, I feel like with the steroid thing, like once Pudge, Bagwell, even Piazza, somebody did it. Somebody
more,
did it.
More than somebody.
They're in there. Somebody's in there that used performance enhancing drugs.
They just didn't get caught.
Exactly. So this whole Clemens and Botts thing, they're just playing villains.
Right.
They're just nobody wants to like them because they're always villains in their career.
So let's shift just into
and their numbers are true. These you want to talk elite Clemens and Bonds. Oh my God.
Yeah. Again, and Sosa.
Sosa was good.
Yeah.
Well, he's corking his bat. Sosa went a little overboard here.
Yeah, Sosa was trying too hard to fit in.
Take it easy, Sam.
But yeah, let's roll into the whole steroid era. It's listen, I don't condone cheating.
Me either.
But actually, before even that, let's go to my boy Crime Dog, because he played during that. Before we get into,
want to do Crime Dog and Kurt?
Yeah.
Let's do the other guys. So the other guys that
listen,
didn't make
Crime,
it, and then
Crime Dog, I loved. I still do. I love Fred McGriff. He was one of my favorite ball players growing up. He was great.
Great devilry.
The dude should be in. I mean, without a doubt, 110%. Like, you want to talk about 100 Mo, he should have 110%. The strike in 94 and 95 killed him. He fell just short of 500 home runs because of it. He would have bonafide been a 500 homer guy. Mm-hmm. 5-time All-Star. He was 3-time Silver Slugger. 284 batting average. Again, 493 home runs. Over 1,500 RBIs. 10 hits away from 2,500.
Yep.
He's got more home runs than Winfield and Carr, Yastrzemski. I mean, what more do you want? But he just played. He played in the steroid era, and
my points of
I just think it hurts him. I really do.
Of the automatic,
he'll get in though. He's going to get in via the Veterans Committee.
But this is so annoying.
He
took 10 years and
took 10 years,
and he only got 40% of the vote.
It's insane. It's insane. It's amazing to me.
But he was a very consistent hitter, and to do what he did during the steroid, like, he never cracked 40 home runs in a season. I think the most he ever had in a season was 37. And to have an entire career to never crack 40 and have 493 home runs shows how consistent he was. Mm-hmm. And to have 25, like, he was just a very consistent hitter. 284, 377 on base. I don't disagree with you. You know, to be 7 below my automatic threshold, and to couple that with 2,500 hits.
It's kind of the same thing as Bagwell.
Honestly, it is.
Like, I just
honestly,
again, he'll get in.
That's why it doesn't really make any sense, but.
Right, it's just strange.
The system we feel is very flawed. Like, we don't know what they look at when all these similar players.
Yeah,
and then you're letting Bill Mazeroski in, but we'll talk about that.
Bill Mazeroski, sweet 260. Right. So again, as far as elite, it's Clemens, it's Bonds, but they have the black cloud hanging over them. However, they are on the up and up. The percentages.
They didn't jump this much this year. I think it went up like 1 or 2% from last year.
But they've been upcoming.
They've been climbing each year, but the jump wasn't significant this year around to see that, okay, they're going to get it soon. They both got, Clemens got 59.5% and Bonds got 59%. So they were right in line with each other. Which I don't know how. If you're voting for both. If you're voting for steroids, you're voting for both.
Yeah.
I don't know how they didn't have the same. It should be the same guys. Same guys voting.
I agree with that. But these guys, we talk about the Hall of Very Good. Well, these guys are.
This is elite stuff.
But again, steroids.
I know, but it helped them. But the way I look at it is Bonds had 762 home runs. You telling me he wasn't going to hit 500 home runs with us? Though? You telling me that he wasn't going to hit 500? The guy had over 2,500 walks, which is the all-time walks leader, and to still have 762 home runs.
He was a stick though in Pittsburgh.
Well, everybody gets big. Look at Miguel Cabrera. Miguel Cabrera was a stick.
Yeah, but the Bonds.
Miguel Cabrera was a stick. Now he's big. He's a big boy. Miguel Cabrera's a big boy. They all come up as sticks. Look at Jeter.
He's not,
but he was a stick. I know he didn't get big, but everybody comes up a stick. They always do. Everybody comes up a stick. But I know we don't like WAR, but to have Bonds' career WAR is 162.8, and the 4 guys that got into the Hall of Fame were 56, 68, 64, and 63. Like. His WAR is 100 higher. 100. He's more than doubled 3 times.
These guys are the best of the best, and it's just a matter of whether you agree or disagree on whether these guys should be in the Hall of Fame. Again, it's what I don't even know how to describe it. Really,
no, but Clemens,
again, I don't.
To say steroids for Clemens, the guy had 4,600 over 4,600 Ks. What is that? The steroids make his slider bite harder. What do you go from 92 to 95 miles an hour? Everybody throws 95 miles an hour.
Even more so now.
That's what I
don't appreciate cheaters. I don't.
That's why it's a tough spot. Like
it's just a tough
what you're
place
telling
to be
what
in.
you're telling players is, now I'm going to the other side of the coin here, is that it's okay to cheat because if you do it really well, you get to the Hall of Fame.
Right. Just don't get caught. Just don't get caught doing it.
Just don't get don't test positive.
But again, if you really, really want to push the envelope, just like have the Hall of Fame just be renamed as the Baseball Museum. Just the museum. We're gonna go to the museum, see a couple Hall of Famers, see some Daniel Murphy jerseys.
Yeah, there you go.
Daniel Murphy.
NLCS power.
See Schilling's bloody sock.
They have.
Speaking of Schilling,
when I went there, they had Willie Mays' glove from when he made the over the head.
Yeah.
Like I'm looking at this thing, like, is this really Willie Mays' glove? I think I've gone like twice since then. I try to go every year.
I haven't been.
The place is incredible.
I haven't. I need to go up there relatively soon because it's been a while since I've seen it. Would like to go back, check it out.
Incredible. The things you see, I'm like, Mike, am I really looking at this? The letter telling the Yankees Lou Gehrig has Lou Gehrig's diseases. Like, I'm like, this is ridiculous histories in there.
But again, with the whole steroid issue, a simple question that a lot of people like to ask, and I'm going to ask it: can you tell the story of baseball without Bonds, without the steroid era, without Clemens, without all these, without Sosa's corked bat? Can you tell the story about baseball? No, you can't. It's history.
It's history.
Again, but it's a very touchy subject, and I just don't know. These guys are the best of the best, and like you just said, taking steroids did not make Clemens' slider bite more. I don't know. I really don't know. As far as the whole Pettit Schilling issue, not an issue, but Andy been getting no love. Is he a Hall of Famer?
Still Andy?
Yeah,
he's still on the ballot.
Yeah, I know.
He's
but is
on.
he a Hall of Famer?
No.
I don't know either.
No.
I don't know either.
I know. No.
Like we talked about in the beginning here, I aggressively said Messina over Pettit in a heartbeat. Yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna lean towards no.
Everybody talks about
also Schilling.
Everybody talks about Pettit being such a great postseason guy. He was like 3-8. He got hit. They hit him around.
Pettit.
He just played every year in the postseason his whole career. He was always there. So he had a lot of numbers.
Pettit was a great pitcher. He was
Would I want him? Yeah. But again, very good.
Andy's been also one of my favorite players. I don't know. I think I would lean towards the no side. As far as Schilling, it's pretty. I don't know. It's pretty compelling to me with Kurt. Kurt was, like Mo, a postseason legend. He has over 3,000 strikeouts, which, like we talked about,
that's the number that jumps out at me, is 3,000 Ks.
But he only has, 215? Only. He has 216 wins.
Yeah. But during the time frame he played, that's underwhelming. To play it basically is the same time frame as Tom Glavine, who had 300 wins. That's underwhelming. Yeah. 216.
Absolutely. I think a lot of his damage comes from his views, his political
He's just
views.
not likable. He just needs to zip it.
Yeah. But
it shouldn't hurt him.
Some of the crap that he says is a little ridiculous.
Yeah, he's got to chill.
But what he did on the field is what we're looking at. The same thing with T.O.
Yeah.
Okay? Because these guys are, again, like you termed it, villains.
Yeah.
T.O. wasn't a likable guy because of all of his baggage, and the same thing with Schilling. I mean, the crap that Schilling says really shouldn't sway voters.
It is, though.
But it is.
It is.
100%
Because everybody's saying if you put Mussina and Schilling, they're kind of 1-1. I think Mussina's numbers are better. I disagree. I actually think it should be exactly like this. I don't.
So do I.
Schilling doesn't. Very good. Very good. Great career.
Schilling is going off the over 3,000 strikeouts, obviously 216 wins, but again, to me, that's underwhelming. And the postseason success.
Yeah.
And a lot of that was the bloody sock.
Yeah.
Like, let's not throw him in the Hall of Fame because of a bloody sock. I mean,
Yep.
But and a lot of his voters are being swayed away because of his views. And to me, I think that's baloney.
Mm-hmm.
What he does on the field should matter the most.
Yeah, not what his Twitter account says.
I'm sorry,
I'm kind of with you there. If that's the reasoning, then I disagree. But
we just need to get back on track with the
elites getting in the Hall of Fame.
That's what I was looking for.
There's a couple, like we touched on Harold Baines, which actually I didn't disagree with, but there's a couple of guys that I'm just like, you gotta be kidding. You gotta be kidding. Like Lee Smith. You gotta be kidding.
Hey, I have said since day one, if Lee Smith is in, I'm not even looking at the numbers. I don't have them written down next to me.
You don't even need to know that.
I don't care. If Lee Smith is in the Hall of Fame, automatically Billy Wagner and John Franco should be in as well.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say about it.
So, like Lee Smith, 1,022 games, 71-92. Great. Nice losing record. 3.03 ERA, over 1,200 Ks, 478 saves, third all time, but underwhelmingly below Hoffman for second, and a 29 WAR. You look at John Franco, 1,100 games, so similar in games, 90 and 87 winning percentage, 2.89 ERA, lower ERA, 975 Ks, a little less, 424 saves. So they're both above 400 saves. So is John Franco a Hall of Famer? Because he has more wins, he had a better ERA, but he had less Ks and 50 less saves. John Franco. Where's John Franco's Veterans Committee votes?
Yeah.
Billy Wagner. 800. So Billy Wagner, 853 games. So he's pitching 200 games less. 47-40, 2.31 ERA. He's 70 points lower than Lee Smith in ERA. Okay, he's got 1,196 Ks. He's got 50 Ks less than Lee Smith in 200 less games. And he's got 422 saves versus 478. He did it in less time than Lee Smith.
100%. I agree with you. 100%.
So where's Billy Wagner? Billy Wagner's a Hall of Famer? John Franco and Billy Wagner in the Hall of Fame? No, none of these guys are. None of these guys are Hall of Famer. I'm sorry. Like, I loved Johnny B. Good Franco and Billy Wagner, both great Mets. They're not Hall of Famers.
But Lee Smith is in, so they're Hall of Famers.
I know.
But Lee Smith is in the Hall of Fame. That means Billy Wagner and John Franco.
Lee Smith.
Simple math.
29 WAR. Billy Wagner, 27.7 WAR. That's same.
Simple math.
Hall of Fame. Congrats, Billy. You're going to get in because you're the same. It's Lee Smith. Give me a break. Next. What the problem is these committees are just voting guys in that had no business being in the Hall of Fame to begin with. They fell off the ballot for a reason. I understand sometimes things could slip through the cracks, like more now with the steroid era if we ever decide that we're going to be okay with it. But some of these guys fell off the ballot for a reason. And one of those is Jack Morris. He was voted in by the Modern Era Committee, which is one of the 4 committees that do the Hall of Fame. 254 wins. 3.9 ERA. I'm done right there. I don't want a guy in the Hall of Fame that's ERA for his career is almost 4. I don't need a Ryan Dempster in the Hall of Fame with 4 ERA. Who will let in 4 ERA? Are you kidding me? Where's Josh Johnson? Is he in the Hall of Fame? Come on. 3.9 ERA. What the problem with Jack Morris, he was a 5-time All-Star, but
so what?
And I'm just going down my list here. So his claim to fame is 1991 World Series MVP, Game 7. He outdueled Smoltz. He threw 10 shutout innings versus Smoltz 7 1/3. He threw 10 shutout innings for a walk-off in the bottom of the 10th.
Because of one game, he's in the Hall of Fame?
I'm just saying, that's his claim to fame. And that's what it should be. 1991 World Series hero. And that should be it. And nobody with a 3.9 ERA should ever be in the elite Hall of Fame. I don't ever want to see that. Now, speaking of that World Series, what blew my mind as I was going through this, the walk-off hit of Gene Larkin. Do you ever see that? Gene Larkin hit a walk-off single to win the World Series. Do you ever see that Game 7 walk-off hit?
No.
What you see Gibson.
We see a lot more Barry Larkin than we do Gene Larkin.
You see Kirk Gibson's home run, Carter's home run. You see Puckett's home run the game before, Game 6 to force a Game 7. You always see that, but you never see the one that won the World Series. I don't know why you never see it. Poor Gene Larkin winning a World Series, you never see it. I barely even know it was Gene Larkin when I was looking at it. Like, what this play happened? You never see that. But anyway, Jack Morris doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame. And then, lastly, personally, I think the worst Hall of Famer there is Bill Mazeroski. Voted in by the Veterans Committee. Bill.
Let's hear Bill.
260 hitter. I'm done.
Just stop right there.
Just over.
I'm tired of the leniency.
260?
I'm tired of participation trophies.
Congrats, Brandon Nemo. You're in. You did it. You hit 264. You're in the Hall of Fame. Get your speech ready, Nemo. Like, it's ridiculous. Mazeroski.
David Segui.
Barely 2,000 hits. 2,016 hits. He's a 10-time All-Star. But I mean, I don't look at All-Star appearances as much of anything.
Not at all.
It's a fan vote. 8-time Gold Glove. I'll give you that. But you don't have the hits that the other old Gold Gloves that we were talking about earlier. No power, no speed. Most hits in a season was 167. Never 100 runs in a season. Never 100 RBIs in a season. His best average in a season was 283. And the icing on the cake, his career on base was 299.
Ooh.
299.
Slaying the game.
I was just yelling at Bagwell for hitting 297. He could never walk his entire career, and he's gotten on bases just as many. Like, what? 299? The committee's got to figure it out. This is terrible. These are not elite baseball players. Don't put him next to Ty Cobb hitting 260.
Teddy Ballgame.
Like, if you're either going to score runs or drive him in, and he did neither.
But
what did he do?
Put him in.
He hit a home run in the World Series once?
It's the defining moment.
Seriously.
It's unbelievable. But, again, what are you going to do? We're not...
That's why I ran on the committees. They got to figure it out. Again, I can't be going to the Hall of Fame and taking a picture of Lee Smith's plaque. I'm going to breeze right past it.
That's the issue. That is the issue going on in the world today, and we got to hope for some better names that are going to...
You don't have to vote guys in just to vote guys in. If next year,
Jeter.
All that deserves to be in is Jeter, say Derek Jeter, and let him go up to Cooperstown and do his one speech.
Yep.
You don't need 6 guys up there.
I agree. As we wrap up here tonight, I'm just, like I said before, I am tired of second place. I'm tired of participation trophies. You're a baseball player. You produce insane numbers, not 260 batting average. Then we'll talk about it in the Hall of Fame.
4 ERA.
If your ERA is sitting pretty at 4 or close to it, you're not a Hall of Famer in our book, and that's the bottom line. And again, we got Jeter coming next year, and we'll see if this is going to be back-to-back consecutive unanimous votes, which would be pretty cool if it does, because it's never happened before. If how it happens back-to-back,
here comes the Yankee
Here
fan.
comes the Yankee fan. Yankees are cruising along.
Yankee Chris.
That is me. But that's it. That is it, guys, for tonight's episode. As always, thanks for listening. Be sure to tune in to the next time, which Pitchers and Catchers Report in 2 weeks or so. We'll be talking about spring training. I can't believe it. We can't believe it.
Who's going to make the cut?
Baseball is right around the corner. We are super excited. The Super Bowl comes first, though. Enjoy that game.
Get your boxes.
We hope y'all win. But please subscribe to our YouTube channel, our iTunes, our SoundCloud. Be sure to give the Goombas a follow on our Instagram and our Twitter at We're the Goombas. And the Goombas are gone. Salud.
Arrivederci.